morning, amazing people around this planet, whatever it is. We're here, day 1849 in a row, the longest running daily variety show on the planet. Again, is it planet? I'm not really sure what it is. You guys gotta let me know what you think. Been seeing so many videos lately, I just don't even know what I'm looking at or what we're all looking at anymore. I'm pretty sure every photo we've ever seen has been a lie, but the bigger question is, where are we, what are we, and again, when are we, I guess. So, hope you guys are doing well. I got a little sidetracked here. I was trying to speak to YouTube because, as you guys know, the links haven't been working, and I love it when you talk to me like, no, we're going through. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong with your channel. I'm like, well, if I go and I look at the same link for this show from the Mark Inspires channel and I click on it, it's like there's no target. It just, you keep clicking a link. There's nothing happening. Just clicking a freaking screen. You see it brighten up and then nothing happens. But if I scroll and I see Mark Inspires TV and I push the button, that goes right in. You can hang out in the pre-chat, hang out with everybody. But it won't allow you in the subscriptions tab to get into my channel. You have to go through my photo to then get to the channel. Then you have to go into the live. And then you have to scroll and see if it shows that I'm coming up soon. So the whole thing's very frustrating to me. So I'm just trying to figure out how to create an easier experience for people to join us here on a daily basis. This is a twice-a-day show, 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We get together here in the moment and we talk things out. Today we're going to do a little bit up on the news. If you head over to YouTube, you can see all of this. The link is in the bio. So, what have we done here since December 31st, 2018? I've been live every single day. And that's not an easy thing. I was just telling the tech, whoever I was talking to there, she's like, well, everything looks fine. I'm like, well, explain to me why the link doesn't work. Explain to me how we're closing in on 14,000 people on YouTube. However, every single time I'm live, I don't get more than 15 people in the chat. Explain that to me. How you won't even share my lives with the subscribers. And, you know, the problem is there's definitely some sort of mark on my channel and not just the mark here. There's something there. They won't allow me to be found. When I tell them, wow, we don't have any suppression tactics. I'm like, dude, your freaking algorithm is like, kill this channel for 5 years in a row every day. Like, I keep putting out content and it gets killed every single time. So it's just very frustrating. I'm trying to get these people to fix things and they won't. They keep saying everything looks fine, which tells me they don't want to fix this channel. I even made a joke with her. I'm like, look, I was supposed to be live 40 minutes ago. If I don't go live soon, I can't do a morning show. I got appointments. I'm a real estate agent. And she's like, oh, I understand your frustration. I'm like, although it seems like YouTube would prefer I don't do 2 shows a day. They'd prefer I don't go live. They prefer I quit this program. It seems like that after 5 years. But I show up every day because there are things that need to be said in a world that's not giving you the truth. And I don't know what that means. I'm just telling you, I'm here in the moment. How I see it is how I say it. When I read a news story, I tell you how I feel about it. Matt Zabrowski's here to hit you with a woo-hoo every day. All right? Zabrowski. Woo-hoo! That's the way you start your day. With a woo-hoo from Matt Zabrowski. And some passionate truth. Some inspiration, some connecting. Some live music at 432 hertz. Right? Every single day, there's songs written live here in the moment. On a drum that no one's ever seen before because I invented and patented this drum. It's called the BeatSeat. It's a drum for musicians, yes, but it's also the most powerful sensory therapy drum on the planet. If you know anybody with autism, you know anybody who's dealing with a special need, they need the BeatSeat. Yesterday we did a comparison of what instruments, musical sensory therapy instruments people have to choose from currently. It's depressing. It's depressing in itself. Everything is one tone. One frequency, one vibrational effect. Baffles me because the BeatSeat has unlimited tones, unlimited vibrational effect. So basically, wherever you hit it, you're going to get a different feeling. And so that's why everybody with autism needs one this year. We're going to make sure everybody gets one. And they can't unless they know about it because I have the patent. You can't get the BeatSeat anywhere else on earth. I'm the only guy who can do it, and I build them personally. So I just didn't want to have this business where it's about profit and we're like, let's go to China with it. Let's get it done as cheap as possible in China. I take a lot of pride in this instrument. I build them for you. You know, and yeah, it takes a little longer. You have to wait a couple weeks to get your BeatSeat because this is being built on order. A little different than you go to a shop or you order something from Guitar Center. It was made in China and they ship it out. This is hand built for you on order. Right now, DM Ryan, my brother, he ordered a BeatSeat yesterday. I'm building out his BeatSeat. I'll be working on that today, continuing the process. And then after that, it has to be dyed and it has to be lacquered and the whole thing has to be cured before you ship it out. So stuff takes a little bit of time. But you know what? You're getting a handmade instrument for like $300. It's mental. Handmade instead of what you get from China. And by the way, no cajon in the world can touch the BeatSeat. A cajon has one panel, one snare. Some of them have two, but there's one tone. Bass and treble, that's what you get. So it's two tones. We got tom-toms. Everywhere you hit the BeatSeat has a different tone. So anyway, that's what we have to offer here is a performance on the BeatSeat every day. You get to see me as a musician playing it, writing songs on it. But if you do happen to know anybody with autism, please create awareness for me, please. This is a drum. I didn't know what a sensory therapy drum was. I had no idea what that was. Now I know, and that's all I want to do is focus on the children and young adults, everybody who's dealing with autism and has a hard time connecting with a loved one. That's what makes this instrument so important going forward. People have another option to potentially connect with their loved one. So BeatSeat.rocks, BeatSeat.rocks. I think S-Coop is not around today to be able to send that in the chat for me, but if someone can throw in BeatSeat.rocks. I see Helen Gale here, a Camo Dad. How are you, my friend? So good to see you. Thank you for being here with me. If you guys can, leave a comment after this show, hit the like, and share. Anybody who's a friend of yours, they'll probably have a good time if they hang out with us. That's what we do here. Just hang out. We're trying to see if we can connect and just break away for a few minutes. I have a few stories here I figured we'd get into. And they'll be really quick today. We're not going to spend a ton of time on this. But if you head over to YouTube, you could see the story. I'm going to throw it up on the screen behind me as a screen grab so we can do something else kind of interesting today. We're going to scroll through the news and see how negative the news is. You know that the topic of today is rising above the negativity. Let's talk about how much negativity we're receiving from all sides just when we're scrolling on the internet. So head over to YouTube so you can see that. This is our window capture device. Joanne is back there wheezing. You know, Joanne, we'd really appreciate it if you didn't wheeze. Joanne, did you just squeeze one out? You know, it's times like this you have to question life. Joanne. Joanne! What did you eat this morning? A bacon, egg, and cheese. The bacon, she said it was from last year. Another one of the last year bacons. Bacon bits or real bacon that you let turn like purple? You know, not in a good way. Gosh almighty. Can I find the window capture? Where is it? Everything's got to be like tightened up here, Joanne. You know, you're not carrying your weight on this show. I'm here doing it, and you're back there wheezing it. Yeah, and it's a lot. It's a lot, guys. Here we go. We're in it. We got it. No thanks to Joanne, really. So, first story of the day. We're going to get into this right here. There we go. So, first in the nation. Did you guys see this? Apparently, New Hampshire had their first, let's see, the Dixville Notch. This is the small New Hampshire town that voted at midnight, as you see with Gerard Depardieu over here. Is that freaking Gerard Depardieu, Joe? I thought he was great with Katherine Heigl. You know, let's see. 6 registered voters in the unincorporated town, 4 Republicans and 2 independents, who also make up entirety of the area's population, including Gerard Depardieu. It's actually town moderator Tom Tillotson. Guys, YouTube, if you want to see Gerard. That's freaking Depardieu, right? Except he doesn't have super sausage hands. Depardieu had super sausage hands. Like, yep, he puts his hand through windows. Not like he tries to open the window and just put his hands right through because the stupid gorilla monsoon hands, you know? Sometimes you get a Gerard Depardieu, and he's just voting in New Hampshire. So Depardieu, he counted his midnight struck, and the process was typically, I don't know what I'm saying here, Joe. I'm really just sidetracked by Depardieu. You know, like Gerard Depardieu is the town moderator in Dixville, or whatever the hell it is, you know, New Hampshire. So what kind of stock do you put in this? Haley got all 6? Donald J. Trump 0. You kidding me? I'm winning big league. You there, Haley? You're going to vote for Nikki Haley? Dibrata? Dibrata, you're a Dibrat. You know, you're going to vote for Nikki Haley. She's a part of the problem. You know that, right? She's working for the deep state, winning big league. Yeah. Guy's Nimrata. Look it up. That's her real name. And that's nothing wrong with that, but her name's not Nikki. It's like calling Yahshua Jesus. I'm just kidding. I know how you guys feel about that. Look, there's nothing wrong with calling him Jesus or Yahshua or Yeshua. I think that we have to all start understanding that. Like, whatever you call him is, I think, better than not calling on him. You understand what I mean by that? Like, don't have a problem if someone calls him Jesus, and don't have a problem if someone calls him Yahshua, because some of us choose to call him by his actual name, but in no way could you ever tell me that calling him his real name is worse than calling him his fake made-up name by the Catholic Church. So that's just my perspective. But you could call him what you want. He knows your intention, and that's all that matters. But I think, again, just for me, I'm calling him by his name, and you should be okay with that. So whenever you hear me read the 1775 Bible, I change it from Jesus to Yahshua, because his name was Yahshua. And it's a beautiful name when you start saying it. It sounds weird at first. You're like, Yahshua, what the heck? But it's a beautiful name, and it does have power. It really does. But I'm sure so does Jesus. Like, if you really believe, guys, it has power. It's really in your belief. It's like I'm telling my father recently about these things like Esiac, and I'm like, look, you could try anything I tell you, but if you don't believe it could heal you, if you don't believe you could be cured by something other than mainstream pharmacology, then we are not getting anywhere here. You have to have belief in your heart when you do things. You can't go out there and take something that you're hoping will help. You have to know it will help. You have to believe you're going to be healed. And that doesn't happen. Some people aren't able to get over that hurdle. You know, so in general, that's how I feel about it. Like I said, do you. Here we go. Back to the story at hand, and we're done with this. That was it. That was Gerard Depardieu, right? Guys, tell me that's not Gerard right there. I wonder if Katherine Heigl is hiding behind that. Look, no, there's Nikki Haley right behind the sign. Hold on, guys, that's Nimrata. There's Nimrata right there. She's hiding behind the graph here. See her? Look, right back there. Nimrata. Guys, exclusive. This is all a photo op. Journalism 101. Nimrata, do me a favor. Can you just lean back? Yeah, take the shot. I think her nose is sticking out. Nimrata. Yeah. Nimrata, you should have done a better job hiding behind the graph. You know, like you didn't play that game when you were a kid. Hide and seek, you know? You're just like the nose. I caught her by a nose, you know? Nimrata. You know, sometimes when Nimrata comes down, and she's hiding behind the first in the nation graph in Dixville, New Hampshire, with Gerard Depardieu. Make sure you check out Gerard. He's there. He's doing it. So, guys, this one is an interesting one. Pawn Stars personality Rick Harrison says son Adam died from fentanyl overdose, and he blames the border crisis. I can't say that he's wrong. You know, this is a ridiculous amount of stuff going on, but with the amount of drugs coming across the border, don't even talk about the illegal immigration. The drugs is something alone to have a conversation about. And this last 4 years has just been like, bring it in, bring it in. I think it's about death, guys. They really want people I mean, come on. What do we got? We have AI taking over in a few years, and then you have all these people, all these bodies. What do you do with all these people that have no purpose anymore? You have to just keep feeding them? No, they want. This is like a massive extermination event, Like, what are we talking about? I'm not trying to be doom and gloom guy, but like, am I? Are we in the Twilight Zone? Seriously, somebody tell me. We're not in the Twilight Zone, because I think we're in the Twilight Zone. I mean, I think it was a Jelly Roll. This musician came out. I don't even know. I don't listen to other musicians, but not because I'm a dick. Just because I write so much, I can't listen to anything else, or you will never get anything. I'll never release music for you. I write it every day, so if I don't go back and edit it and spend the time making songs for you, there will never be another album. There wouldn't have been 209 songs on iTunes so far if I didn't do this. So I have one option as Mark Inspires, which is whatever happens here in a daily with this guitar, I have to then go back, take time, and instead of spending any time listening to anybody else on planet Earth, I got to edit that down so at least there's something for the record of time here. I don't have assistants. For all I know, after 5 years in a row every day doing this show for 8 people, I'm never going to get to the point where I have people that work for this show that can source my content for me. It will always be whatever. You should always keep this in the back of your mind. Whatever piece of content you're ever watching, Mark had to prepare that for me. I don't have an editor. I don't have anybody here helping me. So any music, any comedy, any Bible verses, anything you ever see me release, the 4,000 pieces of content that I've released so far, were all created and curated by me because I don't have anybody else helping me. That's 5 years in a row, and I'm a realtor married with 3 kids, and I haven't made a penny for any of those 4,000 pieces of content. So just keep that in mind whenever you're tuning in. Maybe you should watch this full piece of content because Mark spent time on it, and he doesn't have any help. And I like his content anyway. Let me at least help the channel by watching the content in full. May not be the best editing job in the world because I'm not an editor. I figured all this stuff out in real time, guys. 5 years in a row of just doing and editing songs and then getting better at that, and editing content, getting better at that, adding new effects, getting better at that. But I am all alone. Don't have anybody that's like, oh, wow, that was a great song. Let me make sure the world gets that. Let me make sure I pull that and edit it so Mark can focus on real estate or focus on his side, another piece of content he's working on. So for 5 years in a row, there's been probably 1,300, 1,400 songs created. So many comedy moments, I can't even put my finger on it. So many inspirational words were spoken that I could just put out 1.5 years worth of inspirational content. And I can't get any of it because I'm all alone. And I can't make money for it when I do drop it. It'd be like one thing if when I dropped something really powerful, they showed it to 1 million people. But I'll drop something really powerful and they'll show it to 35 people. And that's like for the existence of my channel. So no matter what I put out, it has to do either with the 1775 Bible or, God willing, somebody shares something. Outside of that, YouTube wants me to quit. They want me to stop because the only way they show that is because they never allow people to find the show and allow me to succeed here. It's like always up against the wall with them. And today, this lady proved it to me. She's like, no, your channel looks fine. I'm like, you can't click into my show. This is 3 days in a row now. I've tried this. I go to the subscriptions before the show, and I'll see the link. I'm like, oh, cool. And I click it. Nothing freaking happens. Nothing's freaking happening. But if you go to the Mark Inspires TV channel and you click that link, you go right in. No problem there. No problem there on the Mark Inspires TV channel that I just created 4 months ago. But the one that was created 10 years ago that houses the Donald Trump Show movie, which is the funniest comedy ever created for a political purpose, and was totally kept from the world and then threw me in a hole so deep. I'm thankful you guys found me. But this is where we are here. And then when you see stuff like this, their focus is to keep you away from messages that bring us together and keep people dying. Keep people taking the fentanyl. That's what it seems like to me. Keep them depressed. Don't let them find a show of positivity that the whole world could connect every single day of the year. Can't let them find that. That every day at 9 a.m. you could be on a show with somebody in a different place on earth. Every day of the year. You think they want that? You think they want you connecting with someone in Arizona and someone in Egypt, and someone all over the planet? No, they want you to be fearing everything, sitting in a corner like this and wondering if anybody's going to come and help you. Yeah. Hello. 1,849 days in a row of help, of love, of passion, of truth. And they keep it all from you. And so if you're here, if you found me at all, for the love of God, hit up the YouTube channel. Give these fuckers an FU. I've said a few times, I've been here for 1,849 days in a row with 2 thumbs up. And they're not my thumbs. It's not my thumbs. I'm here with 2 fingers up. To the man. The man has destroyed so much in the last 5 years. Forget about social media streamers who are just trying to get a message out. They're destroying everything we know. And then they want to change existence and create new truth by holding the actual truth from you. Keep the ones that are speaking it from the people so we can just strong arm them into new truths. They're lies. Everything is like, none of it even makes sense, guys. Like any of it. And it's like, okay, so let's just quickly break down where we are. We're alive. We're on this planet. We have this one day. Is there anything else? Yeah, we have to survive to get to tomorrow. Okay, great. What about like yesterday? What are we doing with that? Nothing, right? You can't do anything about it. It's done, right? Okay, that's great. So yesterday's gone. That's good. So that's at least one thing not to worry about, right? Okay, so we're here. We're alive. We got today, and we're together. There's 4 things. Yesterday doesn't matter. Is it tomorrow? Let's think about what are we doing for tomorrow. What's that? Oh, yeah, you're right. We don't know if we got it tomorrow. Asteroid could hit in 5 minutes. It could hit right now. We have this second. We're together. We're alive. We have one day to do something. So we're not thinking about the past, the stains of the past, all of the destruction of the past, right? Because we can't do anything about it. And tomorrow, we don't know if it exists. So we have is this moment, we're alive, we're here on planet Earth together. We could hold hands and we could do something special together. Right now, that's all we got. It's like, okay, this is how simple life is, and they won't let us think about the simplicity of it. It's nope, doom and gloom. Let's get them hating each other and look at that person's skin color. And do you feel like you're a zebra? And all the stuff that makes 0 sense. It's all about division. It's all a tactic to keep us hating each other, to push us into some weird civil war. You know, and it's like, okay, World War III turns into Civil War, turns into the end of humanity. Like, this is like it, guys. Our country has created wars in the last, 5 years here. 2 massive wars. They could have stopped it all. Instead, they're like, well, let's light the fire. And there's a reason. There's an election coming up, and the man in the Oval is freaking mentally not there anymore. He's just not. And these people want to hold their power so badly that they know they'll do the same thing as they did the last time. Introduce some sort of world-closing virus. Now, this time around, we have wars. We can't be out of power, guys. We're the only ones who could take us through this, this war that we're in. All of this reeks. It just reeks. And what I start realizing at some point is that neither side is on our side. Neither side is on our side. We have people fighting over who's going to be the next president, and these people are bad, and these people, they're all bad. There are no politicians that are good, guys. They all work for themselves, for their wallet, and for the special interest groups. They don't work for you and me. Look at the things across the board that we want for our country. And then look at what they actually put into law. What becomes law? It's like we're here and they're up here. They work for the elites. They work for the special interest groups. They put their money in their pocket. They go home. They sleep well at night while we sit here and we struggle through life as their slave race, essentially. It's like we're still living in it. All over the world, there's just egregious acts taking place against humanity. And what I'm starting to see is that we are now being victimized. I don't understand why we're, as a group, we're also okay with just allowing these government officials to destroy our country. Like nobody's doing anything about it. You'll see a voice pop up every once in a while, and then when they say something, you're like, yeah, that sounds right. And then all these people are ready to burn them down, get them up in the cross, burn them down. And it's like, this is where we are. Someone does try to make the world a better place, and the evil of the world, which is the loudest voice, by the way, destroys, cancels. You start hearing all these weird stories. Oh, did you hear about that party that he did what? And he did this and did that? Oh, no, I didn't. What happened? Oh, yeah, no, he's not a good politician. That guy, he was also part of the Epsteins, you know? And like before you know it, it's like everybody is tainted by the evil. And something I read in Revelation the other day was actually, I think it was St. Jude, the epistle, and I'm going to be dropping that later today, I think, or at least dropping it sometime this week. I may put it on for a longer date to see if people build up for that premiere, because it was a really awesome reading of Revelation and also of St. Jude, the apostle, or epistle, the epistle of St. Jude. And what it talked about in there was that evil ruled the day. And I said something similar like 2-3 weeks ago, that evil has always ruled the moment. Like this moment is never ended. It started when God created this. It will end when he decides to put this all to a close. But through that whole time, this one moment has been consistent. It's the one thing that never ended. So yeah, we've seen days, we've seen years, we've seen millennia, and we see the sun go down or up or out and back in, however we want to look at this, for forever, for eternity. But the moment that all of those things are taking place in has never ended. That's just been one consistent moment since the beginning of time. And that is a powerful realization, is that this is a consistent moment that we're a part of. That allows us to break free of all the dogma and all of the lies that we're told, that like, oh, we have to somehow justify the past actions of other human beings. Like, no, that's not what we're here for. We're not here to try to correct the actions of those behind us who did wrong. What we're supposed to do is look at those acts and learn from them so we don't do the same things going forward. If we start changing colors but doing the same things to each other, this is like a wash and repeat situation we're in. We don't want that. What we want to do is realize there have been horrible people before us. We don't want to be the horrible people now, creating stains for a future generation. This is the reality that we're not really talking about as often as we should. But we can step back and realize that the moment is so powerful and it's consistent. And we can only make the moment better. That's it. We can't change how we feel about anything else, but if we could somehow make our moment better, then that will drive us through the day into tomorrow. Remember, you're already a winner every single day you open your eyes. That's your first piece of motivation every day, is that you're a winner, you're alive. You get an opportunity to do something. Show some gratitude that you have a breath. Use it. Do something with it. Share something positive while we still have a chance, guys. So that's all I'm saying. Sticking to it. Don't know what I was talking about, but the fentanyl crisis is real. Rick Harrison's son just passed away. If you guys don't know Rick Harrison, he is the owner of Pawn Stars, the shop. I think it's called Gold and Jewelry or something, famous gold and jewelry out in Vegas. But he's the host of the show called Pawn Stars. His son passed away at 39. Is that right? Oh, goodness. Drug Enforcement Agency listed fentanyl as a Schedule II controlled substance that is similar to morphine and about 100 times more potent. And noted 2 milligrams, less than a grain of salt, as a synthetic opioid can be lethal depending on a person's body size. He passed of an overdose, Representative Harrison's confirmed to Fox News Digital on Friday. The family is greatly saddened at his loss and asks for privacy as they grieve. The Las Vegas Metro Police Department did not immediately respond for request of more information. The Center of Disease Control and Prevention reported that an overdose deaths involving synthetic opioids, primarily illicitly manufactured fentanyl, rose 55.6% from January 2020 to 2021 and appear to be the primary driver of the increase in total drug overdose deaths Adam was Rick's second child with ex-wife Kim. The former couple also has a son, Corey, who is featured on Pawn Stars. Rick remarried and has son Jake with his second wife, Tracy. While Adam was not featured on Pawn Stars, he reportedly worked at the shop and in the family business. Pawn Stars debuted in 2009 as the #2 reality show on television behind Jersey Shore. The premiere date for season 23 has yet to be released. So that's what we have here, guys. Real world stuff. I want to go in here and just give you a quick rundown. What are we looking at? Oh, of course, there we go. Yeah. So what are we looking at here? I want to show you guys something interesting. So remember yesterday we went in and looked at a couple of things. Look at this. Wig. Speakers. That looks like some sort of, I don't know what that is, but Sweetwater. Because I went there yesterday to look at cajones to see what compares to the BeatSeat. Now I'm seeing stuff like that all in my feed. Wait till you see it when we go through here. Nimrata Haley, proud daughter of Indian immigrants, makes history again. She did. She made it again, guys. The first time was when she was, an arms dealer. And she made money. That was the first time. Let's see what else we have here. What? Look at this. Pastor accused of 1.3 million crypto scheme. It says we took God at his word. Let's see what this is about. A Colorado pastor accused of pocketing 1.3 million in a crypto scheme says the Lord told us to. Let's see what this goofball has to say, right? Oh, goodness. Sometimes you're in the middle of it and you find a gold story. This one's gold. Look, all this stuff in Sweetwater on the right there. A Colorado-based pastor for an online church accused of pocketing 1.3 million through a cryptocurrency fraud told followers in a video statement that the Lord told him to do it. Eli Regalado and his wife marketed their cryptocurrency IDX coin. Hold on, I think I got a better way of doing this. Usually I do it this way. It's just easier instead of having seeing me scroll is not, it's kind of annoying, right? I think it's better for you guys to just get the news. This is how we do it. So guys, thank you for being here with me. We do this every day, twice a day. And today we're doing a little news. Sometimes we do it all. Today it's the news. Here we go. We're in it now. See, now you got a good view while I read the story for you of this goofball. Eli Regalado and his wife marketed their cryptocurrency, Index Coin, to Christian communities in Denver, saying God told him people would become wealthy if they invested. If they invest, they will come. The Colorado Division of Security said in a statement on Thursday, Index, which is INDX coin, if you guys want to pick some up, make sure you get a nice supply of INDX coin. You're going to put it in there with your Bitcoin, right? BB Poo Poo. Make sure you get that too. Wolf of Crypto. I was the first person to, rug pull. January 1st, 2021, I put out the movie The Wolf of Crypto. Go watch it. It's hilarious. Anyway, the Regalados could not be reached for a comment in a video statement to their followers last week. Eli Regalado said the charges that they had pocketed 1.3 million are true. This freaking scumbag, right? But God told me to do it. Out of the 1.3 million, $500,000 went to the IRS and a few $100,000 went to a home remodel. The Lord told us to do, he said in a video. The Lord wanted him to reno. You need that coffee machine, Eli. Let's put the Miele in the wall, the one that has direct water input. You're making espressos. The Lord needs you to drink espresso. All right. Eli, let me talk to you real quick. I just got a message from the Lord. He's telling me you need an indoor swimming pool. We're thinking a gym, like multi-million-dollar gym, right? You get a trainer as well. And Michael Phelps, he's going to come out and teach you how to swim. Because I know you swim with two left arms. You're going, you don't want to go in one direction, buddy. Okay, you're doing circles. We want you to go straight. So we're bringing Michael Phelps in. That's just what we need to do, Eli. So anyway, the couple also allegedly spent their investors' funds on a Range Rover. Again, God told them they need to travel in style. Luxury handbags, jewelry, and au pair Guys, he's there. He's doing the index coin. He's also pastoring. He's up there. He's telling people, guys, give me more money. We're going to put the hat out for a second contribution today, guys. My wife needs a handbag. God told us. God told us handbags are aplenty for you, Regalado. When Regalado was doing it and his wife was just taking advantage of the Regalado fortune, God was giving. The couple was charged with violating anti-fraud provisions under the Colorado Securities Act. The Colorado Securities Commissioner, Tung Chan. Joanne, you hear that name? That's almost as silly as your wheeze. Joanne! She drops a toot. Joanne, I'd appreciate it if while I'm doing the news, you keep the wheeze to a minimum. All right, back to the story, Joanne. You kept me sidetracked. I'm in the process of reading about Regalado here. Guys, YouTube, if you want to see Regalado and all of his Regalado-ness, he's doing it. We allege that Mr. Regalado took advantage. This is Tung Chan speaking, guys. When you're doing the news story and Tung Chan comes out to give us his insight, using his own tongue, okay, so Tung Chan said it was a she. I didn't know Tung Chan was a she. She filed a civil fraud charge and was approached by the people who invested and lost money through index coin. We allege that Mr. Regalado, Joanne, wheeze down, please, thank you. Mr. Regalado took advantage of the trust and faith of his own Christian community and that he peddled outlandish promises of wealth to them when he sold them essentially worthless cryptocurrencies. Sounds very similar to the Wolf of Crypto. I stole a ton of money as Peter Bishop. It was a good year for Peter Bishop. Of course, I then shifted all of that money into BB Poo Poo for Shark Tank. If you didn't see my Shark Tank episode, it's definitely worth a watch. Illiquid and practically worthless. Regalado claimed that God told him investors would become wealthy if they put money into index coin, promoting it as a low-risk, high-profit investment pegged to the average value of a top 100 cryptocurrency, the securities division said. In reality, index coin was illiquid and practically worthless. The securities division said in a release the cryptocurrency was available only in Kingdom Wealth Exchange, which the Regalados shut down. Of course they did, because God told them to. It can no longer be sold anywhere except in heaven, apparently. They're really doling out the Regalados, cryptocurrency index coin up there. We took God at his word. This guy again, blasphemy. Can we just strike him down? Heavenly Lord, what are we talking about here? We took God at his word, he said. Regalado said this. And we sold cryptocurrency with no clear exit and no clear clue what the friggin' heck it was worth. You said it was worth top 100. This thing was illiquid, they said. Means never had any value at all. Regalado in his video address Friday said, what we're believing for still is that God is going to do a miracle and he's going to give us a new cryptocurrency to pitch to you guys. It's called Windex coin. This one, you put a win in front and we're all going to make money on this one. God told me so. God said this one, you got it wrong the first time, Regalado, but this time with Windex coin, everybody's winning. We're going to have, that's you have to have a motto for your crypto exchange, and Windex coin, everybody wins with Windex coin by God. God took the by men and stole it. By God. Regalado still tried to go back to by men. And no, you can't, Regalado. God's involved now. All right. You said he brought us the new cryptocurrency Windex. I'm sorry. No, I know there's a product called Windex, but they're on board. Actually, they're the major stock and share owner of Windex Corporation, which is now cryptocurrency. And when you have a zit, you spray on your face. Anybody remember that movie? Oh, goodness. In the comments on Regalato's videos, dozens of people continue to reassure him that God will turn the situation around for the Regalatos. You know, their Range Rover, maybe they can drive to the gates of St. Peter. You know, they say, St. Peter, look, you know God told me to get this Range Rover here, you know. What's that? No, I know he wanted me to get the red one, but I decided to go with the gray. Like, look, he told me he wanted the Range Rover. Why can't I select the color that I want for my Range? I gotta let God choose the color. I'm driving it, you know. He's just like there on the throne, you know. So the Regalato, he shows up, St. Peter, the gates, right? Okay, so this gets even better, guys. Faith-based marketing. Regalato was 22 and serving a prison sentence for boosting cars when his faith called him to become a pastor 20 years ago. He said in a YouTube live podcast, guys, started my life in prison. I used to boost cars, you know. And I was there and I was like, I think a better game is to steal people's money as a pastor, and then I'll say God told me to do it. You know, Regalato. Guys, he did it. And they're now supporting him, apparently. Let's see how this goes. He began preaching for the online-only Victorious Grace Church, where he and his wife are listed as the only two employees. Interesting. Regalato, who had no cryptocurrency or exchange background, said divine inspiration called him to launch Index Coin. And don't forget Windex Coin. That's coming out 2024. And Kingdom Wealth Exchange. It was last October 2021 when the Lord brought the cryptocurrency to me. Down like the 10 Commandments from the sky. Regalato, we got something for you. I want you to introduce a cryptocurrency to your church. You know, everybody's going to get rich. All right. Well, you're going to get rich. Everybody else is going to lose everything. But look, I'm God. I want you to be the one. You're the one. Everybody else should suffer. Like you, Regalato, because you were such a good human being. When you were boosting cars. Good guy. I want to go to that church. Anyway, what do we got over here? Guys, I know, I'm sorry I'm a goofball. Oh, goodness. I know I'm a goofball. But good, guys, this guy is really interesting, all right? I mean, Hilly's in the chat. Hilly, what do we think about this guy here? You know? Pamela Swan, right? Regalato also told investors that he would tithe and sow in causes helping widows and orphans, but the funds primarily went into their own pockets. Guys, God told him, no, to put them in don't do the tithing. After he got the money, God gave him a whole new message. You know, God was like, look, I know I told you to sow your royal oats, you know, Hakeem, Coming to America style, and to tithe. But, you know, I got a new one for you, okay? I think you should throw it all in your pocket. Remember that indoor pool? That was another idea that I had. God, giving you a new one today. Guys, every day God gave a new message to the Regalatos. First it was tithe and sow. Then it was, maybe you should put a football pitch in your backyard. I know you like to play soccer. America, we call it soccer. You call it football in England. I know you like that. Why don't you just kind of hire the excavators and do it with all that money that just came in? You know, because that's God's will. All right. They specifically went out to the Christian community. And there's a lot of references to scripture and faith. He cloaks himself in that get people to give their money to him, said Tung Chan. That's really heartbreaking for people who trusted him. But guys, the message came directly from God. And Regalato has got a direct connection because he's an amazing human being. Boosting cars. He put him up on, the top of the list. Like, God can't wait to connect with Regalato. Wait, you just boosted some cars? Come on now, Regalato. Let's have a conversation. I'm only going to talk to you. I won't talk to anybody else on earth. Just you, Regalato. How'd you do in that gig you went out on? Did you get that 65 Camaro? You know that was the top of the list. You know, if you didn't get that one, you're not much of a car booster. I'm just saying, that's God's, overview. Like I'm a little bit. I expect you to be a good car booster. Like you're good at stealing cars if you're going to go out and do it. I mean, I didn't make you to be a bad thief. Anyway, Eli Regalado, his wife, and his 3 companies are charged with securities fraud, unlicensed broker-dealer activity, selling unregistered securities, and imposition of constructive trust. They are scheduled to appear in Denver District Court next week, according to the court docket. Tung Chan urges others who have invested in Index Coin to contact the Colorado Division of Securities. And maybe send a little note to God as well. Like, God, what did you tell this guy? Why did you give him that information to then steal my money with Index Coin? And FYI, what are your thoughts on Windex Coin? I hear it's coming out soon. You can send those. A couple notes. God will answer. Oh, goodness. Guys, sometimes when you're in the middle of it, and Eli Regalado decides to steal 1.3 mil from everybody, and his wife, she had the handbags. Yeah, he had the Range Rover in gray. And that was kind of a slap in the face to God. God wanted the red one. That's kind of a slap in the face of the devil that God wanted the red one. But Eli, he went with the gray one. God told him to do it. Oh, goodness. Who knew I'd have such a gold news story to start with here today, or second one of the day? Let's go back. What else do we have here, guys? I like doing this. Pastor accused of 1.3. We got it. Baby apparel CEO apologizes after denying remote work from mom of ailing baby. That's just pretty messed up. Inside the door-to-door battle to boost Nikki Nimrata Haley in New Hampshire. Are you kidding me? She's out there. They're putting freaking door tags. Look, vote for Nimrata. Are you kidding? Sleeps over Joe. I gotta fight him. I gotta fight Nimrata. I'm winning big league. Guys, he's winning big league. So what else do we have here? Oh, I'm not showing you the screen. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm not. See, this is why it's good sometimes to do the other thing. Let's do this. This is what we're going to do. There we go. See, we look at it together. We find a story to read, and then I give you the story to look at just one thing so you're not seeing me scroll all weirdly. Jimmy Kimmel mocks Trump's record crowd brag with one video that says it all. Is it the video where 3 people were at Jimmy Kimmel's event? Because nobody freaking gives a crap about that dude. Like you were, look, I told you about Meinl. This I showed you yesterday, that drum to compare against the BeatSeat. That's crap. It's 700. No, it's 350. But they keep showing me all kinds of different cajones now just because I looked at it on that channel. These people have these it's like what do they call them? Tags, not tags. It's something else. It's like it connects to you. It's like a cookie, and then everywhere you go, you're followed by these ads. So that's interesting. Ooh, Denmark's oldest writing found etched onto a small iron knife blade. Archaeologists say a single word inscribed on a 2,000-year-old knife blade is the earliest example of writing ever found in Denmark. That's pretty cool stuff. Sexism controversy at Australian Open after organizers ask women to move court. Gosh almighty, everybody's going to make a big deal out of everything. Just freaking move the court. Well, yeah, it's about sex. No, they just probably needed you to move the court because there's rain on the ground or something. Like, ugh. Everything's about division and hatred. American founder of orphanage in Haiti is charged with having sex with minors. That's pretty messed up. Let's see what we got here. It's probably, I bet you he's connected to Hillary. A U.S. man who founded an orphanage in Haiti was charged Monday with traveling from Miami to Caribbean country to have sex with underage children after spending over a decade dodging accusations that he abused minors in his care. Michael Carroll, Gillenfield, scumbag, who was arrested Saturday in Denver, had even won a multi-million-dollar defamation lawsuit in Maine federal court against an advocate who accused him of sexually I don't even know how to say this. Sabbing at his orphanage in Haiti. Gallenfield had also been arrested in Haiti on the very same allegations that landed him in Port-au-Prince jail amid the defamation battle, only to have the case dismissed by a judge when some of his alleged victims were no-show in court. Probably got murdered, you know? Look, this is the scumbag right here, guys. Glad he's in cuffs. Drop him out of the freaking truck while you're driving. What are we talking about here? You're not going to kick that guy out of the freaking back of the truck while you drive as you're going next to a mountainside? Let him roll down. Oh, we don't know what happened to Scumbag McGee. He was there. We had him in cuffs, and he just decided to jump out and go off the cliff. Look, that's on him. We're just here in Haiti doing our thing as Haitians. Part of that is to kick people out of the back of the friggin' truck when there's scumbag pieces of garbage that touch little kids, Like this douche over here. What's his name again? Michael Carl Gellenfeld. What a freaking scumbag. Unreal. So we have to deal with, guys. 2024. A manager earning $178,000 had her work from home request denied by a judge. Who the freaking hell cares? Hulk Hogan's son Nick's DUI arrest. Body cam footage is released. Ooh, should we watch it? No, because his dad and Nick are both well-known celebrities. Wait, are they there together? They're there together, guys. Oh, look, there's the Hulkster. What's up, brother? Oh, come on, brother. Here we go. Let's see what we got. I don't hear anything. What are you doing? I'm Hulk Hogan's son. No, I'm just going home with my girlfriend right now. We just went out to dinner. Yeah, no, my dad's Hulk Hogan. He may even be in the back seat. I'm not sure. He's the scary guy, this guy. Look at him. Not really, but you know what I mean. Let's see, is the Hulkster in there? No, I don't see the Hulkster. Did we get in trouble for playing this? I don't know. I don't know why the audio's not working. Like, what the freaking heck is that all about? Maybe I have to click on it? No. Look at this. No, yeah, my girlfriend's in the car, but my dad's Hulk Hogan. Come on, brother. All right. I can't get the audio to work clearly. I don't know what the freaking heck, Oh, wait, maybe it's down here, actually. Oh, no, it should be working. I'm hooked in. I'm hooked in over here. All right, so let's see if there's anything else here. Serial killer Ted Bundy stole Kurt Russell's food during an escape from police custody, said Kate and Oliver Hudson. I think I remember hearing about that. There was a story I heard where I think it may have been Ted Bundy. And like he almost got a couple people and they were like, he was like right there. He got scared off by like something and he ran away and he was about to kill like someone famous. Maybe it was him. Let's see. Kate and Oliver Hudson said Ted Bundy stole food from their stepdad, Kurt Russell. The siblings said Russell was camping with friends near the courthouse. Bundy escaped in 1977. Russell had been in a long-time relationship with Hudson's mom, Goldie Hawn. Kurt Russell narrowly escaped a run-in with serial killer Ted Bundy. The Monarch Legacy of Monsters actor had been in a relationship with siblings' mother, Goldie Hawn, since 1983. And Kate and Oliver says there's plenty that fans don't know about the Hollywood icon. On Monday's episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live, that's schlub, he always finds himself in some sort of scenario. That's what Kate said. Oliver recalled some of Russell's most bizarre stories. Among them included the time he got beat up by Tex Watson, who was Charlie Manson's right-hand man. And Oliver said that Russell briefly crossed paths with Bundy in June 1977, after Bundy escaped the Pitkin County Courthouse in Aspen, Colorado, by jumping out of a second-story window. This is a crazy story, said Oliver. Kurt was camping. He had his plate of food. He went to get a beer or something, comes back and his plate of food is gone. Ted Bundy then gets caught and recounts sort of how he survived after escaping. And he said he found a guy camping in the woods with his friends. He leaves the thing and he grabs and eats his food. Interesting. By going to get a beer, Russell narrowly avoided a potentially dangerous confrontation with Bundy. At the time, the serial killer was on a trial for Pitkin County for the 1975 murder of 23-year-old nurse Karen Campbell. Bundy wasn't required to wear handcuffs or leg shackles in the courthouse because he represented himself during the trial, which meant he could use the law library. Bundy escaped by jumping out the second-story window and headed straight for the mountains outside Aspen. The killer broke into a cabin while evading the authorities for 6 days and later stole a car. Bundy was recaptured when the police deputies saw the car weaving across the street. There we go. Kurt Russell in the house. So I guess that's basically what we got here, guys. Some news stories. Um, let's see if I can get one more here for you, and then I'm going to play you a piece of music. Like, who cares? Patrick Mahomes' car collection is pure fire. Duck hunters hear cry for help, then see boaters floating in river. Jeez. Look, another cajon. Guys, they're going to be all over me on this now because I just looked yesterday. I was a millionaire, now I'm broke. Miami attorney says dog drugs started spiral. Oh, wow. Look at that oxy. There's dangerous, dangerous stuff. Mr. B says he'll give 10 people $25,000, the entirety of the $250,000 he just earned on X. This is interesting. Maybe we should all go and do whatever the heck it's asking. But now I'll give it all away. He said 25,000 to 10 people just followed him just for fun. YouTube's biggest creator, Mr. B, said he will give away all of the $250,000 he just earned on X. I'm going to give 10 random people that repost this and follow me $25,000 for fun. I'll pick the winners in 72 hours. Mr. Beast, whose real name is Jimmy Donaldson, has 234 million subscribers on YouTube. He's got 19 videos, by the way. He puts out a video like every 2 months, and 234. I've been live every day, 5 years. I can't get more. Where are we? 13,900. This guy's 234 million. I know he's doing some pretty cool videos, but he has now a whole crew that films. You can't get there unless you get there. 25-year-old is known for his philanthropy, social experiments, and various entrepreneurial ventures, and shot to fame for ambitious stunts, including his own recreation of Squid Game. Pretty cool. On January 15th, Donaldson said he would be testing out how much revenue on one of his videos could earn on X. This came after months of X's owners, Elon Musk, trying to woo him to the platform. Musk previously stated creators on X earned $5 million in the first rollout of the payments. Andrew was one personality who said he earned a significant amount under the scheme. What scheme? He's paying creators for creating content. That's what all platforms should do. Facebook doesn't do it. Zuckerdick is the biggest scumbag in the world. He keeps every penny that the creators... You have creators making content on his platform. He doesn't pay anybody for it. You guys are fine with that? You call a scheme when someone wants to pay creators? What a fucking bunch of shit. I can't stand... Who's the asshole who wrote this? Lindsay Dodgson, you dick. Call it a scheme for creators to get paid for their work. What a bunch of shit. I fucking I can't stand people like this that want to try to belittle creators and say they don't deserve to earn money for all the work they do. Like, the social media companies are making a killing, billions. This piece of shit is just bought a $200 million piece of land in Maui. He's building an underground lair because of what's happening. We don't even know what's going on in the world. He's going to be fine. Zuckerdick will be fine in his underground bunker. But it's a scheme for creators to get paid for creating on these shit platforms like frickin' Facebook, which is a dick platform. I hate Facebook. And there's like 3 people watching on Facebook right now, if I'm lucky, after 5 years in a row every day. That's what we call Zuckerchooched. But this idiot here, let's see, Lindsay Dodgson. Oh, because of the scheme. Scheme? Yeah, Andrew made a significant amount of money because of the scheme. No, he made a significant amount of money for being a creator and getting paid for his creations. Oh, who said and earned a significant amount under the scheme? Somebody write this asshole freaking letter. What an idiot. Scheme. Well, do you get paid, Lindsay Dodgson, when you put an article out for Business Insider? Or is it a scheme? You just schemed everybody because you got paid for putting an article out, you stupid asshole. I'm sorry. It just pisses me off when people want to belittle creators and not pay them for creating. No, let's just keep filling Mark Zuckerdick's pocket. He needs more money with that stupid freaking alien face of his. You guys know he's not human. That guy's, there's something, he's a Zuckerdick for sure. I don't know anything else about him, but I'll tell you what, he's not a good human being. I'm sorry. Amy WC, I'm so sorry. Sometimes I gotta let it all out, you know? Especially when you see this. You know, entertainment in a French lesson. That's right, Hilly. Sometimes it really gets me upset when I see this type of stuff when people like, oh, it's a scheme for creators to get paid. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, do you know, for example, like YouTube, you could go on unless you get like 1 million views on something, you're not making any money on this platform. And I think 1 million views nets you like a 4 grand if you get 1 million views and people watch all the content. If they just pop on and pop off, I don't think you're making much anyway. Like YouTube, all these platforms, they don't pay much. You know, this isn't like you're getting a really good like return on your investment, time investment. You see, I got 7 people. Like, you don't make money when you're doing this show. You know, this is a show out of this is a show that you're doing out of the kindness of your heart, essentially. Like, it's not like you're doing this because you expect anything to be different from the day before. You know, I choose to not think about this as living the definition of insanity. I am, though. You know, every day I show up and it's the same result. Same result. And then I see people like this that are dismissing creators and saying it's a scheme when they want to get paid or should get paid for their work. And it just really gets under my skin. It really makes no sense at all. And I guess it's easy to say when you are on staff for the e-news, daily news, or whatever it is, and you're getting paid. You can say whatever you want about anybody else. So anyway, that's it. I'm sticking to it. Sometimes I get upset when I see people that don't appreciate creation and they think that everybody should do it for free. Like, I don't know anybody else is doing that. I'm just the only idiot who keeps showing up to do it. Everybody else has figured out a way to make something for it. Let's see. I don't have any other stories here. These are all terrible stories. Nothing good here, right? After Star Trek symbol was spotted by NASA's Mars rover, I'm getting seriously strange New World vibes. You know, I just wanted to quickly say something. I don't even know if this is something we can look at. But I just thought about something. You know, all these different conversations about NASA and about how they were basically created right after they said you can't go to Antarctica anymore. It's like same time. Like, look, you can't go to Antarctica anymore. By the way, look up there. And it's like, okay, so if there's more to discover here and they don't want us to discover it, I get it. You know, I mean, that's the goal. Okay, let's keep them focused somewhere else. And that's the key, right? But let's look at something real quick. Let's take this image right here, okay? I'm not sure if you guys can get on board with what I'm thinking here, but if you envision that these two A's are place setting, okay? And they create a cross. So because NASA's so schemy and scummy, I just, for some reason, thought to myself, if I slide this, I'll call it a T, because it's kind of a weird T, and I put that T right here after the A, and then I take the AN and flip it, you get Satan right there. And then you look at all the math. Did that show up on the screen? Hold on, let me see. Okay, and then you look at all the math of NASA, of the globe model. Everything's 66,600 miles, 666,000 miles, 66,600 miles. All these 666s all over NASA's math. All over. Everything is a 666, guys. If you haven't looked at it, it's pretty freaking weird. But if you look at that image right there, and you say, okay, well, they're flipping. The A and the A cause that image to flip. So NA goes to the other side, but flipped. And you have SAAN and that T thing in the middle. And so now you have Satan. Don't Admiral Byrd me. That's who got me, is like the Admiral Byrd stuff. People talking about an ice wall, people talking about there's more land beyond the poles. Like, that stuff doesn't make sense, right? Unless the pole is in the middle and not at the bottom. You know what I mean? So it's like we're coming to a center point of north I don't know. The whole thing is weird to me. It doesn't make any sense. But then I looked at this and started thinking about how NASA and Satan, you could just very easily, with that weird T they put in there, make the word Satan. No matter how you want to try to justify how it's made, you flip that NA, you throw that T in the middle, you got Satan right there. And everything has to do with a 666 with their math. And if you really break it down, there's more that doesn't make sense with the globe model than there is that doesn't make sense with the flat model. It's just like you look at it and you're like, whoa, this is really off. This is like, okay, maybe I'm not sure, because it seems, but if you look at them both side by side, you'd be like, this one over here is mental. Like we're traveling through space 1,000 miles an hour, traveling after a sun that's going 400,000 miles an hour, some stupid, crazy numbers. We don't feel any of it, though, guys, because we're all moving the same speed. No, when you're in the car and you don't feel yourself moving. I feel myself moving. You're telling me that even though I'm going 100 miles an hour in my car and that I get to 100 and now I'm going at 100, I don't feel like I'm moving anymore? That's a bunch of horse shit. I still feel I'm moving. I can still feel myself going 100 miles an hour. You don't feel the original boost from going to a 0 to 100, but you still feel the movement. You feel the action of movement through space and time. So don't tell me we're going 1,000 miles an hour right now, and we don't feel any of it. I could put a deck of cards up here, 52 cards, and in 30 years it'll still be sitting here. So there's way too much that doesn't make sense to me. But I will say my 1775 Bible says a few things, and I would trust that over some scientist who's telling you that science is the truth when science is a religion. So, NASA, Satan, whatever, they're probably connected because it seems like a lot of lying going on over there. It's just my take on this. Oh, goodness. Sometimes I get myself in trouble because I say a lot of silly things. But you know what? That's what we're here to do, guys, is to speak our own truth, to say how we feel about things. And every once in a while, you get a story like NASA's really Satan in disguise, And even all the colors, too. The colors, Look at this. I live less than a mile away from the Werner von Braun Center in Huntsville. Amy, that's awesome. I'd love to hear more about that. Let's see. Okay. Andrea says, they told us the Earth tilts at 23.4 degrees. The complement of 90 degrees is 66.6 degrees. Now they say it's 23.5 degrees, but you can still find stuff from 2022 that says 23.4. So we're saying the complement of 90 would be 66. I'll tell you, I don't know how any of this works. I just feel like it's not what they tell us it is. It's got to be something else. Yeah. They postponed the moon landing? Did they really? It's because they can't get to the moon. I mean, we're a closed system, I think. I don't know. Look, we'll find out. Maybe we'll always be under this firmament, or we'll be in space, or we'll be on the moon, or we'll be on Mars. I'm not going to pretend I know. I'm just thinking it's definitely not what they tell us. It's almost the same as we know that Jesus wasn't born on December 25th. Like, it's the one thing funny, I made that piece of content. A lot of people are like, well, it's not April 1st. Why would you say April 1st? It's September 11th. Oh, it was March. And everybody had a different date, but not one of them said, no, it's December 25th. Not one person agreed that it was December 25th because everybody knows that is the lie. And yeah, I have to agree, Amy, like looking at all of the footage, and as somebody who works with video here in 2024 and seeing the editing and the guy zooming with the camera, I made a great piece of comedy on this saying the real first person on Earth, his name is Chuck, and he was the cameraman. They dropped him out there first so he could film everybody getting off of the moon lander and then getting back on. And then he's the one who zooms perfectly in as it's going and hits the pan dead on. And I was like, there's a freaking, who's the camera guy? And then we made a hilarious piece of comedy about Chuck, and that people never knew about Chuck, and now he's coming out to take credit for it. Like all this crazy stuff. It was a pretty funny bit. But it had to be made in a soundstage because certain things took place there that you can't explain. For example, when they're hitting the stakes on the moon, you could hear that but it's well known that there is no atmosphere, and in space, the vacuum of space, you could hit a hammer right next to you and you won't even hear it. There's no sound. There's nothing for it to reflect off of. And they said, like, that's the weirdest thing about it, is like you're there and you're hitting and you don't hear anything. So for us to hear them hitting things on the moon, right there we know it's a lie. And then you see all these different light sources. The moon should have one light source, right? But you have different light sources, you know, that you could see that clearly as somebody who works with video. And any cinematographer could watch that and be like, yeah, that was Kubrick, you know? And again, remember, we had to try to beat Russia. That was the whole reason. We had to get there before Russia. And if you look a few years before, Russia pretended that they got there first. And if you look at their footage, it's even worse than ours. So, like, they both were doing the same thing, like, oh, what can Hollywood make for us? You know, and Russia probably had their own version of Hollywood, you know? So, and the reason we know that's true is because we're still here in 2024 and no one's been back to the moon, and they say we don't have the technology. Well, if you didn't have it, if you had it then and you don't now, that means you never had it, because we are so much further advanced now than we ever were then. You can now just GPS things. You couldn't even do that back then. You had to do the math. You had to somehow work it into a computer system that's the size of this room, and it had 8 megabytes of RAM for a mission to go to the moon. Now you've got gigabytes, you've got terabytes. You could do anything with the memory and with the technology, and they say they can't. That tells you everything you need to know, guys. Love to get there. Love to see it happen. I'd love to really see it, though. Like, I still, someone's brought up a good point. Why don't we have cameras on the moon? If you guys are getting to the moon, why aren't you leaving a camera facing towards the moon, towards the Earth? If you tell me that the face of the moon is always facing Earth, you can't ever, tidally locked, guys. It's tidally locked. You can't set a camera right there, tidally locked on Earth, flip that freaking thing and push live stream and leave it there. So all of the people that are curious, all the people that are wondering can say, oh, look, there's the Earth. That's the true shape of the Earth. Look, guys, it's a globe. Look, guys, it's a disc. They won't let us do that. Why? Because they know it's not what they tell us. That's the easiest thing to do. Just put a freaking camera on the moon and flip it. Here you go, guys. We're going to leave this live streaming for forever now. You could tune in 5 years and see the Earth from the moon. I would tune into that live stream and hang out and chat with people. Guys, we're on the moon stream. Oh, you're looking at the moon? No, I'm on the moon looking at Earth. Oh, cool. Where are you tuning in from? You see over here on the Earth? Right there? That's me. I just lit my flashlight. Did you see that? Right? That's what I'm talking about. Get to the moon, flip a camera, put everybody to dispel all rumors, all concerns, and all conspiracies by showing us the truth. You've had every other person who's gone up has said, it's freaking pretty flat up there, guys. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on here, but that's flat. You know? And it's like, I don't fly a lot, but when I fly, I'm not flying and feeling any sort of drop. I'm flying in a straight distance for hours at a time, and then you land. You can't do that without course correcting. You're just flying straight and then landing. That also tells us a lot. Oh, that's because you're moving with the Earth as the moon. Well, how come if the Earth's moving 1,000 miles an hour and you're moving 130 or 180 miles an hour, how can you even catch up? How come my drone, I put it right up in the air above me, I could walk away, go grab a coffee, come back, that drone's still sitting there. How? The Earth hasn't moved? The drone hasn't moved? Explain, please, tell me. Oh, it's because we are here on a flat, non-rotating disc with a dome, a firmament above us. It's so funny to hear myself even say silly things like this, because everybody's called a conspiracy theorist for saying such things, but I had Flat Earth Dave on my show, and everything he said checked. And I've been trying to find holes, poke holes in the Flat Earth. The only thing I can't find is someone said something about the Southern Cross. And so I need to understand, has that been dispelled, how the Southern Cross is... There's something about the Southern Cross with Flat Earth that doesn't work, and I wanted to know if that's been dispelled. If it has, then really, they've got a lot... The Heliocentric has got a lot of explaining to do. But if you still can't explain that one, because I saw Flat Earth Dave kind of run from that question once. He couldn't answer it. And I don't know if there was ever an answer to that. Maybe he just didn't have it at the moment. Or again, it could just be a whole fraud. It is a spheroid, because they've said it's a spheroid from the beginning. But if that's the case, we do know every photo we've ever seen has been a lie, because we've never seen a spheroid. We've seen a marble. And it's not a marble, it's a spheroid. It bulges, if that's true. It bulges at the equator. And I think that's where our wall is, essentially, because water stays in a container, and you would never ever fly to China and go over that bulge, and then now you're upside down. Now you're upside down, but you didn't feel any of it. That's the most ridiculous thing in the world. You're just flying around the top, and you're going east to west or west to east, and the center point is what keeps you tethered. You're tethered. It's like tetherball, essentially. The ball is attached to that focal point, that center, and you're just traveling around it. It's got to be the way it is, right? Oh, look at this. Illy says, LOL, you know that I'm a pilot and ex-USAF aerospace technician. The Earth is round. I've flown around it. But Hilly, have you flown around it? I think you have. You haven't flown around it like that, because that would be impossible. You'd be upside down. You've flown around it. Absolutely flown around it. Let's see. Haley says, I have what's called an equatorial mount on my telescope. It is capable of tracking objects in the sky. If the Earth was flat, it would not work. But how can we explain that? How you're literally upside down while you're flying. And again, if the equator's around us like this, it is still around us. That's why I'm wondering if the math is a little different than we both think, you know? When I talked to my brother-in-law, he said, look, I left New York, I went to China, and then I left China and I went around and came back to New York. I said, yeah, but do you think you went under and upside down and back? Or do you think you went this way around? And he goes, well, geez, I never thought about it that way. It's like, yeah, you did go around the world, absolutely. But all of your senses and even your mechanical meters are telling you you're going around, absolutely, but you're not going this way around, because that would just be impossible. You'd be upside down at one point. You'd be flying upside down. See, I want to figure out, there are several good methods. Sure, you can, but how? So this would be an interesting thing, is being able to somehow connect and be able to see this on a map, be physical, not just made up by some sort of model, where Hilly takes off or someone takes off from New York and you watch it on a map. You could see that thing traveling and going like this around the Earth, and then now it's here, and I call Hilly and say, I'm up and you're down. Right now you're upside down flying, but how? How are you upside down flying, but I'm up over here on this side, and you don't feel yourself upside down? Are you sure you're not around me? You know? Haley said, go out to Bonneville Salt Flats with a transit and shoot a large square. Then measure the angle of the corners. They will exceed 90 degrees. Someone said someone built the moon. I see. Missed that part. Then there's the 3 wells method. Yeah, what's the 3 wells method? We need to know that. I gotta hit the road too. Geez, it's 11 after 11 right now. I'm gonna make some phone calls, try to see if I can sell some real estate. Guys, if you do need any assistance, real estate assistance, please let me know. Look at streetlights, how they get smaller further away. Three wells method. I still need to see more. I need to understand this. I need to understand how someone could be upside down and not feel it, and get over that bulge, because it's a bulge, without feeling any of it. Just, I can't. It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make logical sense. Ah, jeez. All right, so let me get going here, guys. I will see you later on for more. Let me see. Got a lot to get to today. So, Amy W.C., Andrea O'Neill, DM Ryan, Helen Gale Townsend, Hilly Billy, my brother, and Modoc Roughstock, my friend. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. If you can, 3 wells that are in line east to west, when the sun shines direct in the center well, it will hit the other 2 at an angle that corresponds to the curvature of the earth. Huh. Interesting. I will have to look into that further, Hilly. I want to talk more about this for sure. You guys rock. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great day. Helen, Hilly, DM, my brother working on BeatSeat for you, Modoc, Amy WC, anybody else that may still be here, Andrea O'Neill. Appreciate you guys. I will be back later. Let's see who's here. 2 over on TikTok. Warren Bruce, how are you, my friend? Please do me a favor, head over to YouTube and subscribe to the channel there. We've been doing it a pretty long time. 1,849 days in a row today. And we're just getting started. Where's the outro here? There we go. Until later. Not working now? That's weird. Oh, there we go. So thank you guys for playing. Thank you for filling in the gaps, especially Hilly. Thank you for filling me in as a USAF pilot. I didn't know that. We have to talk about that when we have you in the air. Until later, we'll be back for more. Thanks for watching, guys. You got to go away, go